All right, people. Now you see, David never stopped. Never. You see, a lot of times this is what happens. We start going through things. Some things we cause upon ourselves. Some things people cause. Proverbs say there's a thing that happens to a good man, a righteous man, because of a wicked man. And there are some things that happen to a righteous man, a wicked man because of a righteous man. No matter how it happens. What a lot of people do when calamities and problems arise in their life, they turn their back on God. They curse God and die. Exactly what the devil wants you to do is curse God and die. And many people do that. They turn their back on God. You understand? If he said, I'll be found of them that seek me, what do you think he's going to do to those that reject him? He won't be found by them if you reject God. How are you going to reject your salvation? You're basically rejecting your salvation. Listen to these birds. But stay at it, people. I don't know how much I got to push that issue. There's a man in this Bible. I ain't going to say he was perfect, but he enacted God's will so powerful, you'll read it, you'll think he's Jesus himself. Who am I talking about? Elijah. Elijah didn't play the radio. He lived a life pleasing to the Lord, and he even got a double portion of the Holy Spirit. If Elijah can ask for a double portion of the Holy Spirit, you can ask for a triple portion if you want it. And he'll give it to you. A double portion. And think of the things he did. A man's axe head fell in the earth, fell in the water. And he put a stick in there and it swam. He did miracles so similar to the miracles Jesus did, and sometimes I thought he was Jesus. One of the people called him Father. He must have saw the Holy Spirit. He must have saw God in him. He's like, Father. And I'm sure that wasn't his son. But maybe it was. You see, when God uses you, he wants to cleanse you and make you right. Your words become his words. He said, I said you are God's, but don't take that to your head. But you shall die like men. You understand? Elijah was so Holy Spirit filled that a man touched his bones and was healed of his illness. You want to be so Holy Spirit filled that when you step into a room, the devils come out and scream or run away. You want to get to that point. But David still was a man of his own heart. Everybody had their purpose. Elijah had his. Elijah had his. Samuel had his. David had his purpose. And the thing is, David fulfilled his purpose. Why? Because he stayed with the Lord. Let's read 23. Now these be the last words of David. David, the son of Jesse, said, and the man who was raised up on high, the anointed of the God of Jacob, and the sweet psalmist of Israel. What? Then he wrote great music too. The Spirit of the Lord spake by me, and his word was in my tongue. What he said? What did he say? Let's repeat that again. The Spirit of the Lord spake by me, and his word was in my tongue. The God of Israel said, the rock of Israel spake to me. He that ruleth over men must be just. Now he finna tell you some things. Ruling in the fear of God. So you want to be a ruler? You must be just. And he shall be as the light of the morning, when the sun rises, even a morning with clouds, as the tender grass springing out of the earth by clear shining after rain. Now watch what he say right here. He acknowledged his sin. Although my house be not so with God, yet he hath made with me an everlasting covenant, ordered in all things and sure. For this is all my salvation, all my desire, although he make it not to grow. But the sons of Belial shall be all of them as thorns thrust away, because they cannot be taken with hands. But the man that shall touch them must be fenced with iron and the staff of his spirit, and they shall be utterly burned with fire in the same place. Look at David prophesying. All men of God can prophesy. I don't want to hear what you say. I don't want to hear what you think is only certain. Every man of God, if you really want it, you have not because you ask not. Don't listen to some of these preachers. If you are called by God, you are his voice. These be the names of the mighty men whom David had. The Tachamonite that sat in the seat, chief among the captains. The same was Adino, the Insight. Look what kind of men he had surrounded him. God's going to surround you with strong enemies. Strong friends and strong allies. I ain't say put your trust in them now. But he's going to surround you with people that are strong. Jesus had 12 disciples. And one betrayed him. But 11 of them were strong men. Not how the world sees strong men. But they were strong men. They started a ministry that changed the world. The same was Adino, the Esnite. He lifted up his spear against 800, whom he slew at one time. And after him was Eleazar, the son of Dodo, the Hohite, one of the three mighty men with David. When they defiled the Philistines that were there gathered together to battle, and the men of Israel were gone away, he arose and smote the Philistines until his hand was weary, and his hand clave unto the sword. You see, when you're a good person, when you're a righteous person, a man that fears the Lord and escheweth evil, these were the type of people that's going to surround you, people who are willing to have your back. Not because you are kissing their butt, because you fear the Lord. And they know the Lord is with you. And the Lord wrought a great victory that day, and the people returned after him only to spoil. And after him was Shammah, the son of Agee, the Hararite. And the Philistines were gathered together in a troop, where was a piece of ground full of lentils. And the people fled from the Philistines, but he stood in the midst of the ground and defended it, and slew the Philistines, and the Lord wrought a great victory. One man. Not only are you going to be strengthened, but those who favor your righteous cause are going to be endowed with spirit and power and strength from on high too. And 3 of the 30 chiefs went down and came to David in the harvest time unto the cave of Adullam. And the troops of the Philistines pitched in the valley of Rephaim. And David was then in a hold, and the garrison of the Philistines was then in Bethlehem. And David longed and said, oh, that one would give me drink of the water of the well of Bethlehem, which is by the gate. And the 3 mighty men, look, all David said was, I'm thirsty. And the 3 mighty men break through the host of the Philistines and drew water out of the well of Bethlehem. What he said, 3 men? That was by the gate, and took it and brought it to David. Nevertheless, he would not drink thereof, but poured it out unto the Lord. Look at that. You know, people always do that, pour out a little liquor for your friends. I want to start pouring out something for the Lord. And he said, be it far from me, O Lord, that I should do this. Is not this the blood of the men that went in jeopardy of their lives? Therefore he would not drink it. These things did these mighty men. Why? Because David feared the Lord and called upon the Lord. And Abishai, the brother of Joab, the son of Zeruiah, was chief among 3. And he lifted up his spear against 300 and slew them and had the name among three. Look at that. Look what kind of people God surrounds you with when you love him, when you live for him. Was he not most honorable of the three? Therefore he was their captain. Howbeit he attained not unto the first three. And Benaniah the son of Jehoiada, the son of a valiant man of Kabzeel, who had done many acts, he slew 2 lion-like men of Moab. He went down and also and slew a lion in the midst of a pit in the time of snow. And he slew an Egyptian, a goodly man. An Egyptian had a spear in his hand, but he went down to him with a staff and plucked the spear out of the Egyptian's hand and slew him with his own spear. Look what kind of people God surrounds you with. These things did Benaiah the son of Jehoiada, and had the name among 3 mighty men. He was more honorable than the 30, but he attained not to the first 3, and David set him over his guard. Asahel, the brother of Joab, was one of the 30. Elihanan, the son of Dodo, of Bethlehem. Shammah, the Herodite. Elikah, the Herodite. Helez, the Peletite. Ira, the son of Ikish, the Tekoite. Abiazar, the Anathothite. Mabunadai, the Hushuathite. Zalman, the Huthite. Mahari, the Netophathite. Haleb, the son of Bana, a Nephatite. Ittai, the son of Riba, out of the Gibeah of the children of Benjamin. Benaniah, the Pirathonite. Hidiah, of the brooks of Gash. Abulaban, the Abrathite. Azamath, the Barhamthite. Elabah, the Shabulanite, of the sons of Jason, Jonathan. Shammah, the Haratite. Ahiam, the son of Sherah, the Hararite. Eliphalet, the son of Habashai, the son of Mathathite. Eliam, the son of Hithophel, the Gilonite. Hezriah, the Carmelite. Parai, the Albite. Igal, the son of Nathan of Zobah. Benai, the Gadite. Zelite, the Ammonite. The Hari, the Beerothite. Armor-bearer of Joab, the son of Zeruiah. Ira, and Ithrite. Gareb, and Ithrite. Uriah the Hittite, 37 in all. Even Uriah, the one he sent to his death, was loyal to David. David messed up. One thing you want to do, you don't want to mess up with people who are loyal to your cause. You don't want to screw them over. Him screwing Uriah, it's weird that Uriah was the last name. Let's go back to that story right quick. Let's see how Uriah was after David had did what he did. Uriah was a good man. David just fell in a moment of lust. Second Samuel chapter 2. And Uriah, and when they had told David, saying Uriah went down into, let's go back. And David sent and inquired after the woman and said, and David sent to Joab, saying, send me Uriah the Hittite. And Joab sent Uriah to David. And when Uriah was coming to him, David demanded of him how Joab did and how the people did and how the wars prospered. And David said to Uriah, go down to thy house and wash thy feet. And Uriah departed out of the king's house, and there followed him a mess of meat from the king. But Uriah slept at the door of the king's house with all the servants of his lord, and went not down to his house. And when they had told David, saying Uriah went not down into his house, David said unto Uriah, camest thou not from thy journey? Why then didst thou not go down into thine house? And Uriah said unto David, the ark and Israel and Judah abide in tents, and my lord Joab and the servants of my Lord are encamped in the open fields. Shall I then go into mine house to eat and to drink, and to lie with my wife? As thou livest, and as thy soul live, I would not do this thing. And David said unto Uriah, tarry here today also, and tomorrow I will let thee depart. So Uriah abode in Jerusalem at the day and the morrow. And when David had called him, he did eat and drink before him. And he made him drunk. And at even he went out to lie on his bed with the servants of his Lord, but went not down to his house. Look how loyal he was. He didn't deserve that, what happened to him. And the Lord knew it. You sent a good man to your death, the one that was going to be by you. And it came to pass in the morning that David wrote a letter to Joab and sent it by the hand of Uriah. This letter is a horrible letter. And he wrote another saying, set ye Uriah in the forefront of the hottest battle, and retire ye from him, that he may be smitten and die. He had a letter in his hand. He was so loyal. He wasn't even sneaky. He didn't even open the letter to read what it said. And it's a letter to his death. And the men of the city went out and fought with Joab. And it came to pass when Joab observed the city that he resigned and Uriah into the place where he knew that the valiant men were. And the men of the city went out and fought with Joab, and there fell some of the people of the servants of David, and Uriah the Hittite died also. Then Joab sent and told David all the things concerning the war, and charged the messenger, saying, when thou hast made an end of the telling the matters of the war unto the king. And it was so be that the king's wrath arise, and he say unto thee, wherefore approach ye so nigh unto the city? When you did fight, knew you not that they would shoot from the wall? Who smote Abimelech, the son of Jerubbaal? Did not a woman cast a piece of millstone upon him from the wall that he died in Thebez? Why went ye not at the wall? Then say thou, thy servant Uriah the Hittite is dead also. Look at this conspiracy. Still, David was a man of God. He made a foolish mistake in a moment of lust. So the messenger went and came and showed David all that Joab had sent from him. And the messenger said unto David, surely the men prevailed against us, and came out unto us into the field, and we were upon them, even unto the entering of the gate. And the shooters shot from the wall upon thy servants, and some of the king's servants be dead, and thy servant Uriah the Hittite is dead also. Then David said unto the messenger, thus shalt thou say unto Joab, let not this thing displease thee, for the sword devour one as well as another. Make thy battle more strong against the city and overthrow it, and encourage thou him. And when the wife of Uriah heard that Uriah her husband, was dead, she mourned for her husband. And when the mourning was past, David sent and fetched her to his house, and she became his wife, and bare him a son. But the thing that David had done displeased the Lord. I'm going to tell y'all something, people. I don't care how strong a man of God or a woman of God you are. You don't get away with nothing. You better be careful what you do. Yeah, the Lord will deliver you. But some things, people, everything is forgiven. But some things have major consequences in the process of your life, in the process of your growth. Some things as a man or woman of God, you just don't do. One of the things the Lord told me years ago, and I'm going to repeat it now, and I'm going to repeat it probably 327 more times if I have to. The Lord told me one thing. Never mess with another man's wife. I wonder why he told me that. Never. Never. You want strife in your house? That's a good way to do it. Mess with something that's not yours. Let me pause and I will continue.